The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. With the Pennsylvania Derby now in the rearview mirror, it's time to start our Breeders' Cup countdown. We have Breeders' Cup preps galore on the show today. We'll start up at Belmont Park, the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup, and the Grade 1 Fosburg Stakes. Great finishes in both of those two races. Our local action this week features a field of 8, a first-level allowance for $46,000. And our last year Pennsylvania Derby and Cotillion winners were both in action. We'll see McKinsey and Midnight Bisou on the program today. And our buddy Shades will be joining us for a little backstretch look into equine health. That'll be coming up here in just a little bit. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones down on the beautiful first floor here with my friend Dick Girardi. And Dick, we're again Pennsylvania Derby now in the rearview mirror, and we're starting down the road to the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, now it's only a month away now, and obviously we had a lot of big Breeders' Cup preview races last weekend, and you know what last weekend did, Keith? It made it a little more confusing than when we went into the weekend.
Well, it might be a little more confusing still after we get done today.
Point.
Yes. Dick, another thing that's kind of cool about the way the racing schedule plays out is there's really almost no downtime. There's always something interesting going on.
Yep.
And the other kind of cool thing is the fall Keeneland meet's about to get underway.
Yeah, Keeneland Fall is one of the great meets we have in the country, along with Del Mar, Saratoga this summer, and everybody in Kentucky looks forward to it.
Well, we love Saratoga and Del Mar. That guy over there, Mr. Cassell, loves that fall Keeneland
Yeah,
meet.
he's Mr. Kentucky himself.
Yes, yeah. Well, Dick, let's get to the racing action. Let's take a look at our local feature this week. As I mentioned, it is a first-level allowance at 6 furlongs. They're running for $46,000. Now, the favorite here, part of an entry, the part that stays in, number 1A, The Right Path, gets bet down to 4-5 for trainer Georgie Duarte. I think he's been off since May, so a little bit of a layoff here.
Right. In his most recent race, he was second to Jovia in the Long Branch at Monmouth Park. People remember Jovia ended up running third in the Belmont Stakes when he got loose in the lead on the live rail, but it's been a long time.
Yes.
So what's the deal with this horse?
Well, it's 4-5. That's what the deal if you want to bet on that.
Right.
The second choice, number 8, Splice, the main brace, 4-1 for our buddy Butch Reed. And Dick, I watched him progress through his career. He's a horse that has shown plenty of ability, but just doesn't seem to be able to put it all together.
He's won $150,000, so that part's fine.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it looked like when at the beginning you're thinking, boy, this horse has got a chance to be like a serious, maybe even a stakes horse.
Right.
His
PA
best
bred
race,
stakes horse, yeah.
Right, he was that second to call or third to call Paul in the PA nursery, and he just hasn't gotten any faster as a 3-year-old. That's kind of what we were hoping for.
Well, 4-5 on the right path. Let's see whether the chalk players are headed to the windows. John Hernan from Yonkers was down to fill in for me over the weekend. Here's the call.
They want the initial quarter here in 22-3 as they move on the far turn. Upset-minded Intrepid Spirit at 12-1 leads it. Splice the main brace under pressure. And on the outside, looking to come alive in third is Fix Me a Sandwich under pressure toward the inside. Too Much Johnny fourth. The whip has come out on the right path. He has to do a lot better as they turn for home. Then it's a gap of 3 to Spirit Special and Screensaver. They're in the stretch in the finale. And Intrepid Spirit's been a tough customer here. Intrepid Spirit by 3 on the far outside. Spirit Special is absolutely flying in the deep stretch. It's Intrepid Spirit. Here comes Spirit Special on the outside. It's going to be tight. Spirit Special, yes!
Well, Dick, a little off-the-pace winner here in our local feature. It's number 2, Spirit Special. Michael Sanchez on board for Kate DeMasi toward the back of the pack. But a late run and coming up to win by a full length. 8-1, you get $19.20 to win. Another victory for that Kate DeMasi.
Yeah, always happy to see the Pewter Stable folks win a race. Obviously, they're one of our main sponsors, and Kate, one of our Hall of Famers here at Parks.
Have trouble betting a 4-5 that's been off since May. Needs a race back.
We knew that.
Absolutely.
Where were we?
Especially the look back here as we get
It's always easier after the race.
Yes, absolutely.
We're very good then.
Dick, let's get to our first break here. We come back. Our buddy Shades is going to join us here with a special feature. Stay with us. We'll be back with Shades after this.
I love animals in general. I think that they speak to your soul. What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner, low-mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. It's time for our feature segment this week. And Dick, we watch these equine athletes compete on a day-to-day basis, but probably the most important part of all of that is keeping them healthy.
There's no question, and that's what the people on the backstretch do every day, all year long.
Well, I don't know much about it. Do you?
A little bit.
Well, okay. Well, our buddy Shades is going to go behind the scenes.
Very nice.
Shades loves going behind the scenes.
That's why you shade.
So you got it. Here's how they keep them in tip-top shape.
When you think about a racehorse, you think about a strong, powerful, determined animal trained to win. Wouldn't we all like to be a little more like that? Maybe we can, if we knew more about what horses teach us about our health. I went to the Meadows Racetrack and Casino in Washington County, Pennsylvania, to ask the experts in horse care about these high-performance athletes and the care that goes into them. Standardbred horses can reach speeds up to 35 miles per hour, thoroughbreds even faster. So what is it about their care that helps them to perform? The first thing I was told is the last thing I would have thought about. Number 1 on the list, take care of your feet. In this case, your hoof.
No hoof, no horse is what my grandfather told me years ago. So we start from the very basis. Blacksmith, hoof care, things like that are so important. Those horses are getting shod and getting attention, every 3 to 4 weeks. And it's so important to have their hoof not too hard, not too soft, growing well, in good condition, because that is where, that's supporting the entire animal.
Number 2, a diet that includes carbohydrates, not eliminating them. The no-carb craze is no good for true athletes. Diets high in fiber, fat, and protein are helping to build muscle and endurance for these amazing animals.
The most important thing is to have good quality hay. That is going to be, they are grazing animals, that's what they're going to need as their basis. That being said, we know that their hay is deficient in a lot of minerals, as well as, again, because they're exercising at such a hard level, we need calorie intake, which they're just not going to be able to maintain just eating hay. So then we feed them some sort of grain or supplement, and they're going to be high fat, high protein because they're building muscle, and hopefully trying to maintain that throughout their athletic career.
Number 3, when you look good, you feel good.
They know that they're athletes. They know they're loved. I think that they understand how important they are to us. Here in this stable, they're getting brushed and cleaned up twice a day, sometimes 3 if we come back later on. And, when we come in the morning, of course, they've slept well, their hair's a mess. And just like us, we get them ready, we brush them up, we have them, fit and ready to hit the racetrack. And I think that they love it. And especially in this weather, they love their bath time.
Number 4, horses thrive on holistic care. Maybe you would too.
Here we use the pulse electromagnetic field therapy machine. We use it on a lot of our horses here as just an everyday kind of treatment. We use it to find different areas of soreness or where we could be helping them more. As you can see, it does pulse. You can see the neck moving a little bit.
We're focusing on the animal as a whole, but for example, the PEMF machine is similar to a deep tissue massage. There's also different kind of vets around that do stem, do acupuncture is used a lot on the racetrack, as well as there are chiropractors and people doing massage. And if you feel good, you perform well.
And by doing some of these other modalities, whether it's acupuncture, which is like, an Eastern practice, or massage or something that's non-invasive, what we're trying to do is establish a level of comfort, so again, that they can reach their peak performance.
The industry cares so much about the health and welfare of the horses. Healthy horses mean happy horses and horses that love to do their job.
Number 5,
have a support network. Research shows having a social support network leads to better health outcomes. Just like humans, horses need social interaction to flourish.
Mental stimulation and exercise, just like with humans, are a big thing. You want to have endorphin release. They say people with depression issues, a very important thing for that is actually getting regular exercise. So most of these horses, they need to get out of the stall daily.
The horse in itself is just a healing animal. I mean, they use it for people who have autism and therapeutic riding. I mean, the horse is just an amazing animal, and it's built to run. And these horses, it's in their makeup to want to run. And then they go out and have wonderful careers after they're done with the racing. So it's just, they have an amazing heart, amazing heart.
You got a big yawn there, buddy. Yes, you do. You got a big yawn.
The horse gets sick and we immediately take blood. The vet is there immediately. The care that the horses get is incredible. They are never left with any need unattended to.
I love horses. I love animals in general. I think that they speak to your soul. It's a wonderful job to come in here because if they're having a bad day or they're scared, we give them the confidence. They trust us, we're bonded with them. We give them what they need. And some days when we're sad or feeling down or not having the best day, there's nothing better than wrapping your arms around your horse and they give you back what you need. So I feel like it's definitely a partnership.
The Pennsylvania Horse Racing Association, its website and social media pages have great information about these incredible equine athletes, big races, and fantastic events. The Pennsylvania Horse Racing Association, what a ride.
Of course, our thanks to our buddy Shades. And a continued, always a focus here of the sport is keeping our buddies in best condition.
There is no question, and again, if people had a chance and opportunity to spend some time on the backstretch, they would see how much hard work goes into that.
Before the sun comes up.
Yes, well before.
Before I'm out of bed. Dick, let's get to our national coverage. It's brought to you by Chapman Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. Breeders' Cup prep time. Dick, let's take a look at the Grade 1 Vosburg up in New York, 6 furlongs, $300,000. I thought there was at least a significant scratch here. Promises Fulfilled, who was a real speedster, scratched out of here, and we ended up with one more scratch. So we only had a field of 4, but a couple of good-looking horses. So this could work out to be kind of a match race type affair. Number 4, Imperial Hint. Our buddy is 1-5, and Imperial Hint is the defending Vosburg champion, and they're coming off a monster effort last time out.
Yeah, I'll say. Track record in the Vanderbilt at Saratoga, and 114 Buyer, and 13 for 22 lifetime for Imperial Hint. And he looks like he's in the best form of his career as a 6-year-old. The only thing he hasn't done, Keith, is win the Breeders' Cup Sprint. This is a win in your end to try to get back there again, and obviously a new Parks Racing Hall of Famer.
Second choice, number 6, Firenze Fire, is 2-1 for Jason Service. Dick, last time he was in against Imperial Hint, he was 10 lengths behind. And we go back through his PPs. His last graded win was the Gallant Bob.
Yeah, it's interesting, Keith. He's good at a lot of places. He's great at Belmont Park. 3 of his 3 wins have been there. The Champagne, I mean, he's run some gigantic races at Belmont Park. Loves those wide sweeping turns, and he's only got 1 horse to beat. This is going to be interesting.
Did you say match race?
Yeah.
Here's the Vosburg.
As they turn for home here, the half mile goes up in 44.65 seconds. And they're into the stretch, and Javier Castellano and Imperial Hint have a foe in Firenze Fire and Arad Ortiz. And these two hook up at the 8th pole, and Firenze Fire has taken the lead. Imperial Hint will try to battle back on the inside. Can he do it? Firenze Fire, Imperial Hint's coming back. These two coming down to the line. Very close.
Well, Dick, what a terrific finish here at the Vosburg. Of course, Imperial Hint's in front. Of course, Firenze Fire is chasing. Those two engage. Firenze Fire gets ahead in front. But Dick, Imperial Hint did not give up. He fought back and won it by a nose.
No, it was a great stretch duel those last 100 yards. Look, the way Javier Castellano rode Imperial Hint, he was trying to save something for the Breeders' Cup. He didn't ask the horse to run at all until the last couple 100 yards when he had no choice. So he's back again, 3rd year in a row. He was 2nd at Del Mar 2 years ago. He was 3rd with a very legitimate physical excuse at Churchill last year when he just, nothing went right during training, Breeders' Cup's week. No Roy Yates this time. He's not going to make it. That's the horse that's won the last 2. But Matoli, chance a lot. You were talking a brutally strong Breeders' Cup Sprint. If Imperial Hint wins it, he will have earned it, and it'd be great if he did, because this horse deserves an Eclipse Award.
Well, let's hope he can get a good draw. Dick, it's kind of interesting. We've talked about how little he is. You know, when he's on the inside there of that horse, you can hardly see him.
Yeah, he needs an outside draw, because I think he's even better when he's got a target. It's one thing to run out there and you're the target. I think in the Breeders' Cup, if he can get, say, nearer the outside, I think that's going to be huge.
Well, Dick, let's take a look at the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup, another Breeders' Cup win, and you're in $750,000 at a mile and a quarter. Again, a little bit of a short field, but some really good horses in here. The public settles on number 4, Preservationist, who's 9-5 for trainer Jimmy Jerkins. Dick, Preservationist has gone from an allowance winner in May to a Grade 1 winner in August.
Yeah, Suburban ran unbelievable. Not as good in the Whitney, but really good in the Woodward, when it looked like he was beaten like 6 or 7 times, and he kept coming. Ends up winning it with a 106 buyer figure.
Second choice, number 2, Code of Honor, is 2-1 for Shug McGahee. And Dick, some of that talent we saw as a 2-year-old has started to really come to the top here. After that Derby break, he has been terrific.
Yeah, he's trying to make a late run for the 3-year-old title, because at the moment Maximum Security's out, and we don't know if he's coming back. So yeah, Code of Honor is making that run. He caught the right part of the track of the Travers, but he's a good horse and he's getting better.
He really did run really well in the Kentucky Derby, too, so let's not forget that. Tacitus is 5-2, and Dick, he hasn't won a race since the Wood.
Yeah, and I keep waiting, and he keeps doing weird things and keeps getting beat. I got to see it.
Yeah, Vino Rosso 7-2, just part of an outstanding field here in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and here's the call.
Rod Ortiz with Vino Rosso, Jose Ortiz and Tacitus. Head and head up the backstretch. Preservationist is just off them, 2 lengths off the lead. Then the Travers winner, Code of Honor. He's got 3.5 lengths to make up at this stage. Olympic Village trails through a 47.73 half mile. They continue up the backstretch. Vino Rosso, the leader, a half a length. Tacitus on the outside is second. Preservationist is side by side with Code of Honor, and these two are 2 lengths from the pace setters. And Olympic Village is the trailer as they round the far turn, 3/4, 111.63. It is Vino Rosso and Tacitus, and nothing separates these two as they make their way around the far turn, and Code of Honor is only a length and a half behind them. Junior Alvarado asking more from Preservationist now. He's 4th as Code of Honor now swings up on the outside, and Vino Rosso's in front at the top of the stretch. Code of Honor makes his move on the outside. Tacitus fights on between those two. Preservationist is 4th as Code of Honor and Vino Rosso come stride for stride into the final 16th. It is Code of Honor on the outside. Vino Rosso, dead game at the rail. These two will decide a thrilling Jockey Club Gold Cup, and it is very close.
Well, Dick, with a field that had no front runner, Vino Rosso goes up to take the lead. You look through his PPs. He's never been on the lead before, but he's in front. Here comes Code of Honor making that big run on the outside, and these two hook up. They come all the way down the finish line together, and Vino Rosso crosses the wire first, but you want to take it from there?
Inquiry claim of foul by Johnny Velasquez, interestingly enough, who had ridden Vino Rosso in every race of his career, chose to ride Code of Honor here. The stewards reversed it. Code of Honor first, Vino Rosso second. Obviously some controversy. Johnny V and Todd Pletcher are like a team. He claims foul against Todd's horse. There are some people who thought it was a great call, others who didn't. Everybody knows where I stand on DQs. I think it's too subjective. First horse to the wire should win. It was wacky. Here's what we do know going forward. Vino Rosso has gone to the Breeders' Cup Classic. Shug has not yet made a call on Code of Honor. We're not sure. But can Code of Honor be the 3-year-old champion via DQ? Right, because he moved up in the Derby when they took Maximum Security out. Maximum Security finished in front of him. Maximum Security also finished in front of him in the Florida Derby. And so what are we doing here? And he wins again by DQ? So the voters are going to have a very interesting call if nothing changes from here to the finish line.
Dick, we've had some significant races with some disqualifications this year, and it makes it tough.
Yeah, it does make it tough. I would say to you, the best 3-year-old is Maximum Security. If you think that go ahead and vote for him, but there are people that are just going to go, well, hey, he didn't win. He finished 17th. I get it.
All right.
I thought he won.
Right. Dick, let's get to the West Coast for their big prep. It's the Grade 1 Awesome again. They'll go a mile and an eighth for $300,000. It's our buddy McKenzie. Dick, bet down to 1-5. Good old Mike Smith and Bob Baffert. Now, of course, we know how good McKenzie is. I mean, he's really good.
Yep.
But Dick, you know what? As you look through his PPs, he's had 5 starts this year.
Yep.
He's only won 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, hard luck loser of the Met Mile. Right, he's probably the best horse. Had everything go wrong. Lost by a nose to Gift Box. But yeah, no, it's a good point. He has not won like a horse that's 1-5, especially against a horse who just ran the race of his life in Higher Power.
Well, you mentioned Higher Power. He's 3-1 for Trader John Sadler. He draws the inside. And Dick, the question becomes, after that huge effort last time out to win the Grade 1 Pacific Classic, can he duplicate that?
Yeah, it was interesting. Sadler's plan was to wait for the Breeders' Cup. He said the horse was training so well he had to run him. He just felt like if he waited, the horse was probably going to hurt himself working out, so he said, let's run.
And Seeking the Soul is in here and always deserves a second look for Dallas Stewart. Dick, 1-5 on McKenzie. Can he get it done in the Awesome again? Here's the call.
There's a half mile to go in the Awesome again. Mongolian Groom has been there every step of the way. Isotherm pressing him second. Draft Pick on the inside third. McKenzie joined by Higher Power, about 3 lengths off the leader. And Seeking the Soul is hard ridden with less than 3/8 to go. And Mongolian Groom running a good race. He's in cruise control thus far. McKenzie gets his cue and comes after him trying to collar. On the far outside, Seeking the Soul is getting a piece of things, and Draft Pick is down at the rail. McKenzie right up to Mongolian Groom at the top of the stretch. Mongolian Groom digging in very gamely. McKenzie is a half length behind him, and Mongolian Groom kicks on smartly inside the final 1/8 of a mile.
We'll take the race of his life. This one, it's Mongolian Groom. How about 25-1? Goes on to win 2 1/4 pace, $52.80 to win. McKenzie runs second here again at number 1, Higher Power, who stumbled badly at the start, ends up finishing third. Dick, Mike Smith had to feel like at the top of the stretch he was just going to run right by a 25-1 shot, but it didn't happen.
No, it did not happen. And Mongolian Groom is the same group that gave us Mongolian Saturday. Was that the name of the horse that won the 5 furlong race on the turf here at the park?
Somebody cashed on
way
that.
back in the day. Was that you?
Well, the Breeders' Cup. I got him in the Breeders' Cup.
Okay, right. He won the Breeders' Cup turf sprint down at Keeneland. So that's the same group. Look, I couldn't have come up with this horse under any circumstances. I thought Mike gave McKenzie every chance. He couldn't go by. Higher Power, I think he just put a line through it. He got eliminated at the start, changed the way the race was going to be run, and I don't know what was up with that. I'm thinking at the top of the stretch, same thing. Even McKenzie's going to win easy. Well, Bob Baffert was so unhappy with Mike Smith that Mike Smith is no longer riding McKenzie. Watching the race, I didn't see anything Mike did wrong. Why would he think the 25-1 shot's going to stay up there? He rode a 1-5 shot like you're supposed to, and just wasn't good enough.
Mike Smith and Bob Baffert have been joined at the hip for a long time. That's big news.
Yeah, he's gone. And that, you remember, this could even go back to the Derby. Remember Mike chose Omaha Beach instead of one of Baffert's horses? Right. Yeah, it's just the bad blood sometimes, even though they won the Triple Crown together last year.
All of that is short-lived, Dick.
Very much so.
In the sport of kings. Dick, let's get to our next break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing, Jockey and Trainer of the Week, and Midnight Bisou.
Ooh, how cool
is Midnight Bisou? We'll have that race coming up after this.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
The hard-working folks
who proudly earn our living
in Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs, and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. It's time for the weekly awards brought to you by the good folks at the Turning for Home program. Log on to their website. Get involved today at turningforhome.org. Now, Dick, our jockey of the week is Angel Rodriguez. We're he got off to such a great start. We talked about him earlier in the season, but he's maintained it. He's just behind Michael Sanchez and Frankie Pennington. And don't look now. But guess who just poked his head in front in the jockey standings?
Ooh, Frankie
Mr.
P.
Frankie.
He's caught Michael, but we got a couple months to go yet. 3 to go.
Little final furlong battle between those two. And Dick, our jockey of the week, we talked about him a couple of weeks ago, his victory in the Smarty Jones Stakes, but he just continues to win right now, and that's our buddy Carlos Guerrero.
Yeah, he's on a roll right now. Carlos is hot. Biggest race of his life, and once you get something, all of a sudden everything goes right.
It's interesting the way barns can just get hot and get cold, get hot, and right now
10 strikers winning, right?
Go.
Marshall Graham. I see their color's been in the winner's circle a lot lately.
Well, let's get to race recap. Up to Belmont Park, the Grade 2 Belle Dame. They'll go. The Fillies and Bears will go 1 mile at 1:16. Midnight Bisou, the one gets bet down to 1 to 9. Dick, she is working on a perfect season.
Yeah, 6 for 6, and it just doesn't matter what the circumstances are, how it plays. She just finds a way. Mike Smith stayed in California to ride McKenzie. Little did he know it would be for the last time. Johnny V picks up the mount.
Dick, how much does her success, Midnight Bisou, flatter Monomoy Girl?
Nah, I'd say how good was Monomoy Girl last year that Midnight Bisou couldn't beat her.
Yeah, it's incredible. Midnight Bisou stays perfect with that victory. And Dick, let's go out to the West Coast. The Grade 2 Zenyatta. The Zenyatta with #1 Secret Spice, the 4-5 favorite the 4-5 favorite here, Flavian Pratt riding for Richard Baltus. But Dick, if you're going to win the Zenyatta, it'd be pretty cool if you actually train Zenyatta.
Yeah, how about John Sheriff?
How about it?
Paradise Woods was stalking Secret Spice the whole way. She's kind of an all-or-nothing horse.
Yeah.
She runs big or she doesn't run at all. Well, she ran big this time, and obviously she'll come back in the Breeders' Cup Distaff Paradise Woods for John Sheriff.
$9.60 the win price there on Paradise Woods. Well, Dick, it's Eye on Racing, as we mentioned here at the top of the show. The fall meet at Keeneland starts. The Grade 1 Breeders' Futurity 2-year-olds.
Yeah, always a fun race, and the race really to watch this weekend is going to be out in California. The super-duper fast Chancelot.
Super-duper fast,
Yeah, as fast as any horse we've seen. And apparently, and we say this apparently, Omaha Beach is going to make his comeback in that race. He's been targeted for 3 or 4 different races. It didn't happen, but Omaha Beach will be trying to run down Chancelot at 6 furlongs.
You're comeback racing. You want to race against Chancelot?
Hey, I'm just the messenger here.
We also have the Grade 1 Champagne up in New York, so 2-year-olds there as well, and the Shadwell Turf Mile and the Joe Hirsch Turf up at Belmont Park. Those races for our turf fans. We'll have all of that action next week on Let's Go Racing. Stay with us. Up in news and notes, we have a little, what is it, a mother-son combination in the backstretch?
Yeah, this is a wild story for people that were watching on PA Derby Day.
It's not what you think. We'll be back after this.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees, makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing News and Notes. Our final segment brought to you by the good folks at Pewter Stable. Log on to their website, pewterstable.com. Become an owner today. He's Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones, and Dick. A little mother-son combination here. And, you know, it's not jockey and trainer. It's not trainer and assistant.
Right.
This is pretty weird.
Just 2 horses.
2 horses.
Yeah, if you're here on PA Derby Day, race 2, Get Set, 2-year-old Steve Glaceris. Is a son of Enthusiastic Gal, also trained by Steve Glaceris, who ran in the 7th race on PA Derby Day. So wait a second, what happened here? She was injured earlier in her career, had a tendon problem. They bred her on the theory that some stem cells might help heal the tendon. Did, had the foal, came back to race. Now they're both in Steve's barn right here at Parks. Mother and son in the same barn.
And they ran on the
day.
same card. I mean, I've been here 33 years. I can never remember anything like that.
And I wrote about it for Let'sGoRacingParks.com this week.
A really cool story. Absolutely. That's going to wrap it up for this week's edition. Again, racing Saturday through Tuesday, 12:55. Your post. Come out, join us here, and we'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.